sole, mamá.
The what?
I said, when is the next Dirtbag Darkroom video coming out? The one about the prizes, the giveaway, the scanning the negatives.
Hey everybody, Adam Welch here with you for Straight Talk on Photography. Finally, the next episode of the Dirtbag Darkroom. Sorry everybody, it's been crazy busy. I've had a lot of other videos put out, but unfortunately I've had to neglect my own personal Dirtbag Darkroom series. And I am sorry about that, it's been a while. Anyway, today we are finally going to be scanning those negatives that we made out in Mojave. I haven't saw these yet, aside from what you're seeing right here and from what I checked out there in the desert. So we're going to fire up the V700 here, take a look at them and see just how well or bad that we did. Plus, I've finally figured out what to do about the giveaway that Cinestill developer, some film, maybe some other stuff. So at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about that. I finally figured it out. All right, let's do this. All right, everybody, we're going to finally take a look at those. I would say we're doing this in real time. I had initially recorded this in real time because I hadn't saw the negatives either, but the audio was so absolutely abominable, I've got to do it again. So just pretend I haven't saw these. Spoiler alert, they look like shit. Anyway, here we go. We're going to open up Epson Scan. This is the Epson program for that B700 scanner of mine. We're going to change a few settings here, and like I said, if you want to know more about the scanning process and some scanning techniques and what you'll need to get going with scanning your negatives of virtually any format, let me know down in the comments, and I'm probably going to do that. Definitely going to do a video on making your own anti-Newton glass for scanning. So yeah, that'll be a whole exciting thing. Really been wanting to do that. So changing these settings here, we're using that film holder, so change that to holder. This is black and white negative film. I'm going to up that resolution just a little bit so we can see it better on the video to 800 dpi, or PPI rather, since this is digital. And I'm going to turn this unsharp mask off and then do a preview scan. And like I said, don't hold your breath for these, but we're going to take a look at them anyway. I'm going to fast forward this for you as well. So these are our negatives scanned, at least the preview. I'm going to adjust these just a little bit to try to get a little bit more leeway out of the processing. Brighten this up. Alright, and I'm going to do this one as well. So all I'm doing here is just a little bit of work inside Epson Scan, so that when we get these in the Lightroom, we have a little bit more to play around with in terms of dynamic range and contrast, all that good stuff. Really just trying to make them look as good as we can before we bring them into post-processing to have a look. So I have these selected. I'm going to be scanning them, and then we're going to import them into Lightroom. It's going to take a couple of minutes, so just like I did earlier, I'm going to spare you all that and fast forward. Alright, so we finally have opened these up in the Lightroom. We've imported them, and like I said, folks, they're not the best, but we're going to see what we can do. I've already looked at especially these little streaks that are in the upper. Let's turn these to straight black and white, get rid of that cast. These little streaks that are up top and here on the bottom, normally that is caused in the type of processor that I use by facing the emulsion facing outward, so the little plastic covers kind of get on the emulsion, so it messes with the development. I really don't think that I did that, so I'm not sure about that. But given the circumstances, really, I think anything could have happened. This is the one that had a little bit longer exposure on it. You can see how the wind was blowing that plastic. Overall, the sharpness is good. Just like I said, the contrast and those marks on the negative, that's probably the worst part about it. I'm just going to sync in these settings so we can apply the same thing to both of them. There we go. Let's look at this next one. That's probably my favorite one. I think they must have got jarred around in the holder, so it's a little off kilter. That one's actually not just terrible in terms of the things we were talking about in the with the last image. I guess it does have a certain charm considering what the conditions were. There's not as much dust as I thought there would be. There's some watermarks and some water spots on there. Like I said, I don't think I brought enough water out there. I think I really underestimated how much I would need to actually bring to do these 4x5s. You could have used less if this was 35mm, but those things are so tall, these 4x5 negatives, you need a lot of water and relatively a lot of developer. That's why I really wish I would have had that mono bath that I've been talking about for the giveaway, because I haven't used it at the time when I was doing these negatives out there in Mojave. It would have made things so much easier. I wish I would have found it earlier, and I'm going to be doing a video on that, and of course giving away a liter of it at the end of the Dirtbag Darkroom, at least this part of the series, but we'll get into that here in just a second. So back to these negatives. Like I said, they're definitely not great. Definitely not my best development job, but we were developing these out there in the desert, out of the back of the 4Runner, and we went and made the film, made the images. So we shot our film, brought it back, processed it right on the spot, and we have images. So that was more or less a success as far as that goes. And I really think that these, if I worked with them for a while, definitely added some toning in Photoshop to give that kind of visceral, raw, almost the wet plate collodion vibe. I think these might actually have a little bit of promise. I may mess around with those and then show you at the very end of the video what the final product of these actually were. So let's get out of this, stop being depressed about it, and talk about what we learned and some things that we're going to have going on in the future with the Dirtbag Darkroom, including that big giveaway. There it is, the conclusion of the first set of the Dirtbag Darkroom series. I went ahead and processed those negative scans in Photoshop, toned them a little bit of selenium, really gave them that kind of nice wet plate. I think Sally Mann would call it the Angel of Uncertainty appearance, and they actually don't look too bad. I was a little bit pleased. Anyway, like I said, those had their problems, but overall, man, what an experience out there outside of Barstow in the Mojave Desert out in California a few months ago. I'm thinking about going ahead and just keep on doing the Dirtbag Darkroom series. I definitely learned a lot from this first outing. Maybe go some places, shoot a roll or two of film, take them back and develop them. And like I said, this Cinestill monobath, I have this one, which I'm going to do a video on. I've got a roll of Rolly Infrared 400 that I have in the Nikon F3 now. I'm going to use this developer to develop that. I was actually surprised how well this monobath works, both in terms of fine grain, development time, the sharpness, the contrast. Overall, it's kind of weird how this all works. Again, if you're not familiar with a monobath is the developer stop. It's a self-limiting developer and the fixer all in one. So all you do, pour this into your canister, develop it forever how long, and then empty it out, reusable, and rinse your film, and you're done. You can develop a roll of 35mm or whatever you're developing that first shot in about 3 minutes, depending on your water temperature. Very, very cool. So what I'm thinking as far as the giveaway is concerned, definitely giving away a liter of this. I'm giving away a roll of Kodak Tri-X 400 film, and screw it, I'm probably going to give away a film development canister and some reels, just so you can get all this stuff. All you'll need is a camera, guys, a 35mm camera. You go out, shoot, develop, and hopefully
share it with me. I'd be kind of curious to see what you do with those giveaway items. All of that being said, I finally figured out a way to do the giveaway so that you can like click on a link, enter it, and then it gets drawn at random when the giveaway is over, instead of having to go through all of the subscribers here on YouTube and pick one myself. It's just a lot more streamlined. So I'm going to put a link to that giveaway. Go over, register. We'll have another video doing the Cinestill mono bath, and then maybe another video doing that anti-Newton glass I was talking about. I'm trying to give everybody a chance to get over and enter the giveaway over there. You have to be a subscriber to my YouTube channel, but go over, enter that, and it'll be picked at random by the computer. So it's going to be a little bit easier on you, and I think a lot more fair. So please be sure you do that. Again, we're going to do one more video, give everybody time, and then the next video, probably on that anti-Newton glass, we're going to be choosing the winner of the Dirtbag Darkroom giveaway. All right, guys, again, so sorry that it took so freaking long to get this video out. It's been kind of crazy. Go over, check out some other videos that I've done. I've got just a lot of other stuff going on that I want to tell you about in the next couple of videos. So until next time, it's been the Dirtbag Darkroom. I'm Adam Welch. Thanks a lot for sticking with me, folks.